Okay, so clearly when someone has a blog, they believe in freedom of speech. They use that blog to say whatever's on their mind, and I thought that was the whole idea. Then we have a little microcosm of that, which is Twitter, same principle. Like any community, like any place where words are used, they can be taken out of context and used for the wrong reasons. I made my point about something on Wednesday night in the context of One Born Every Minute, and it was directly with regards to my own personal experience. I thought the tweet that I sent would add value to the conversation. Sadly, a few tweets went back and forth, and which resulted on Thursday in me being told that I was annoying that person. I never dreamed that that would be the way that they would be taken. Naive maybe. So I said, I think that's a bit over the top, and that honestly, truly would have been the end of it. I then worked in my normal job because, yeah, you know, things happen offline as well as online. There is a life beyond the computer. So I did a day's work, and then that evening, Aaron was on my knee drinking a bottle of milk, and I had time on my hands because he's going through a phase where he likes to have his milk on my knee. So my hands were completely tied, so one hand was on the computer, and I just had this twitchy feeling that I was being talked about, and my sixth sense is quite strong, so I was quite right. I found some tweets that really concerned me, things about brain cells, fuckwit and all sorts, and I decided to take exception to that. But because whenever I've seen posts about this sort of thing in the past, people always say it doesn't happen, and I think the mummy blogging community is beautiful, and I really think you're imagining it. So to prove that I wasn't imagining it, I copied and pasted them into the post. I thought that that would allow the relevant people to participate in the discussion. I also deliberately included everything, even the good tweets, so that I wasn't going to create a biased opinion of the situation. And I think what backs that up is the post was live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it didn't have any negative comments. Now, the glass half empty people will think that that's because I've got moderation on. Those people who know me will know I've never had capture on my blog. I've never had word verification, or what it's called. I've never had moderation, never, and I've been blogging since I think 2008. So there was no negative comments. I didn't do anything to publicise the post, and I genuinely did it with the best of intentions. There's a couple of posts that inspired my post. One of them was the mummy whisperer, and my post was done to kind of back her up, to show that this sort of behaviour takes place. So it was done on Thursday, and it was relatively quiet on Friday and Saturday. And then Saturday night, oh, and during that time I wasn't heavily watching the computer at all, trust me on that one. And then Saturday night, I'm lying in bed, and I email work to say the documents I was going to do for you tonight, I've decided not to do because I'm having an early night. I was just about to close the lid on the laptop. Stupidly, I took it to bed with me. Just about to close the lid, and my blog was still open, so I thought, let me just check my stats before I close the lid. Wrong move, completely wrong move, because I could see that in the last few minutes my stats had gone up by 100 between leaving the sitting room and entering the bedroom. So I thought something's up. So again, sixth sense comes into play, and I go on Twitter, and I'm being, I don't want to use that word, but talked about, shall we say. And then the tweets start to say that a certain person's going to call a certain person, and then all of a sudden the next time I look at my stats, it's gone up by, I don't know, 600 more. Then the call takes place, and it's gone up by a few hundred more. The clicks in the space of that hour were 1,150. So if the 20 or 30 people who thought that they were the only ones involved in it think that they were the only ones viewing it, please, 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 when you do a tweet, realise there's some silent people watching. They're digesting that information, they're thinking less of the person because of it, and 1,150 people viewed my post. Obviously after that they weren't able to anymore because I conformed to the norm and I took it down. Now when I did that, I did it for a couple of reasons. Not because of the phone call, because the phone call made me dug my heels in deeper. What made me do it is I thought it might put an end to all this. I didn't do a blog post against that word in order to create more of the same behaviour. So I thought I'm going to take it down for a quiet life, and so everyone can move on. And I had moved on after doing the post, but no one believed me on that one. I thought taking it down would enable us all to move on collectively. So I took it down Saturday night, I went to bed, and Sunday morning I woke up, and normally I have to think about something before it provokes a feeling in my body. No, Sunday morning I woke up and my stomach felt like lead. And I normally feel good on Sundays because I go to church at 12:30. I thought, why am I getting this feeling? And unbeckoned, these words came into my head and they were censored. That word kept coming again and again, I've been censored. My sense of inner power felt completely gone. I did everything in my ability to shake that feeling off, and the feeling hasn't gone. In fact, it's worsened as the days have gone on. The only thing that's made me feel better in the last few days is the decision to make this video, because there's a strong power in the written word and that power has been abused. So now I'm going to the spoken word. I'm hoping that you'll find it harder to say bad things about me if you can see my face and see my eyes. And just think about the fact that when you're saying these things, there's a hell of a lot of people watching. Now that's given that I only did one tweet back on Thursday with a link to the post. The other person only did one tweet with a link to the post. But there's nosy people out there who scroll back through our timelines, and they would do that even if there was hundreds of tweets to get through. And 1,150 people did just that. And the proof that I didn't encourage that is the fact that that did not happen Thursday or Friday, even though the post was sitting there. And it got some quite nice comments from people who could see that it wasn't an antagonistic post. So I'm hoping that this video will show you my intentions were good. I'm hoping that my relative silence since it happened will show you that my intentions were good. I haven't been silent to attract your attention. And the other thing is, the glass half empty people will be thinking that the reason I've been silent is because lots of emails are happening behind the scenes. I've only exchanged emails with one person. They'll be thinking lots of DMs have happened behind the scenes. I've only exchanged DMs with one person, and I've only had phone calls with two people. One of them was the one that made me feel censored and resulted in the post being taken down. So the objective of this video is to tell you that from now on there'll be no more badges on my blog. There'll be no more affiliations on my blog. I will still do the occasional sponsored post, but that relationship will be direct with the company involved. I'm not answerable to anyone, and my blog is all about freedom of speech. If anyone feels the same, please feel free to let me know. I'm also going to start a hashtag, and it's called Words Heard. Now, I want this hashtag to be used for good reasons. So if you want to say something nice, use the hashtag Words Heard. If you just want to tell me that you've heard me and that you agree with me, but you don't want to risk your words being taken out of context, just say Words Heard. If you don't use Twitter, on the blog post that I'm going to embed this into, say Words Heard. And if the hashtag completely flops, then I don't mind, because this video isn't about getting attention. This video is about me reclaiming my power to engage my mouth and say things for good without that being twisted. Also, the one last thing I want to say is, when we open that laptop, we invite the energy of what's being said online into our home. What really upset me is on Sunday, for the first time in 20 months, Aaron slept with his hands across his heart. In 20 months, he's never done that. Babies sleep like this. So what affects me affects him, and that's what's really brought this to another level. So if you care about your children, care about the energy that's coming into your homes, and quit this behaviour, okay? Thank you.